What's up, everybody? I'm gonna start doing some of these episodes that are a little short in length, just in case any news drops or whatever that I feel like is more deserving than a TikTok, a quick little 1 minute video. So these are going to be about 5, 6 minutes. Today's topic is based on the news that just dropped, recording related to the Philadelphia Phillies. Christopher Sanchez is going to pitch for the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic. Now, I believe it was a month ago, the report came out that Christopher Sanchez was not going to pitch in the World Baseball Classic. And when I saw that news, I was ecstatic because it's it's really just a tough discussion because here's my thing. I love the WBC. I think it's one of the best ways for our sport to grow globally. Like, playoff baseball is obviously number one, but the WBC is a close second. So it's like when Bryce announced he was going to go play for the WBC, I was pumped. Schwartz, I was ecstatic because they're hitters. Pitchers are different. And I'm still not like gun ho on that I'm not upset that Christopher Sanchez is going. I just don't think any pitcher in our organization should be going to pitch meaningful innings in March. I think it's just going to set them up for failure during the season because it's a ramp up period, right? You get to spring training, pitchers and catchers report early, and you're throwing meaningful innings in a time frame that you would not have otherwise if you weren't pitching in the WBC. Hitters, I think it's different because I think you can prepare them for the season, live at bats to where they're ready to go. But even that kind of scares me a little bit because Trey Turner had one of the most unbelievable WBCs in 2023, and we saw he wasn't the same until the standing ovation. And another factor in the whole Christopher Sanchez thing is I believe he was peer pressured into pitching for his country because right when the report came out on the side of like the Phillies fans was like, all right, that makes sense. Like, he's an ace. Like, those type of pitchers really don't go and pitch in the WBC. Now for the United States, they have. This is like the first year they're doing it. Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, which is kind of insane for Tarek Skubal to be pitching in the WBC in a contract year. I'm not going to be upset about it because he's not on my team. He's going to play for Team USA, go home team, Go USA. But for Christopher Sanchez and the reports from the Dominican side, they were bashing Christopher Sanchez. They were saying, you're not going to pitch for your country. You're going to let your country down when they built you up and everything. And something of the way he was pressured into pitching for the WBC rubs me the wrong way because it's like, if your heart is not completely in it, you shouldn't be doing it because I'm sure Christopher Sanchez and his team was like, look, I don't know if this is the best move for me. I'm in his second year of being an elite pitcher. 23, he was good, but he came mid-season. 24 and 25 was the breakout years of Christopher Sanchez. And I can't imagine his team really wants him to go out there. I get it. He's on a team-friendly extension to where he's not going to be a free agent for a few years, but Christopher Sanchez is going to hit the market at some point. And I don't God willing, he does get injured. But if he does, and then he's never the same, and it's because of the WBC, like, he's going to regret that for the rest of his career. Now, if he was like gun ho about pitching for the Dominican Republic from the jump, and then he gets injured, then it's kind of like living with no regrets, similar to the Tyrese Halliburton situation in the NBA Finals. Now, well, I'm not really comparing the NBA Finals to the WBC, but for some players, especially players of the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Japan, like, the WBC is more important than the World Series in Major League Baseball. And I can't fault you for that. Playing for your country, there's something different about that. But Tyrese Halliburton played in Game 7 in the NBA Finals, and he knew the risk. But he said after he got hurt, he was like, look, I knew the risk. The pain of not knowing, like if he sat out, of what could have been is worse than the pain of knowing and tearing your Achilles. If Christopher Sanchez was gun ho saying, I want to win it for my country, and then you get injured, similar to what happened with Edwin Diaz, I get it. But the way he was kind of peer pressured into it, something about this whole situation does not rub me the wrong way. So I don't know. And then you got Aaron Nola pitching for Team Italy. That is the biggest joke ever. He's Italian, but he's never been there. He's only pitching there because he wants to pitch in the WBC, and he wasn't good enough to pitch for the United States of America. And it baffles me. So basically, teams can't prohibit players from playing in the WBC unless they have injury concerns. They still have to get permission, but it's like if someone wants to play in the WBC, they're going to play in the WBC. Aaron Nola is coming off a year where he missed almost half the year due to injury. The first time in his career, he struggled, and he's going to go out and pitch meaningful innings for a country that he's not even like he's never been to. Like it's that aggravates me even more than the Christopher Sanchez situation. So let me know your guys' thoughts on if you're excited for Christopher Sanchez pitching for the Dominican Republic, or if you're upset just like me. I think I'm 60-40 because I get it, dude. The WBC matters a lot to players. But on the contrary, I mean, he wasn't going to pitch until the media kind of forced him to pitching, which I don't like. And my main goal is a World Series for Philadelphia. Like, of course, it's going to be great if the United States wins, but I'm more worried about that flag behind me. That might sound blasphemous to some of you guys, but the main thing I want to achieve out of my fandom is a Philadelphia Phillies World Series. So, of course, I'm going to be a little biased. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Christopher Sanchez declaring to pitch for the Dominican Republic in the 2026 WBC. Thanks, and have a good one.